now time for the GeoGeeks, our regular segment where we bring in a subject matter expert to tell us what's noteworthy in our core ArcGIS products. But today, we're bringing them all together, all four of our peeps, to tell us about 3 things you should know about our latest releases. Finally, our GIS Grinch is here, because not only has he stolen Christmas, but he's also stolen our hearts. Mr. Brandon Wheatley. Brandon, how are you?
Mark, I'm doing great, thanks. How are you?
Doing fantastic. The holiday season is here, and all these new features in ArcGIS Online are here as well from the November release. And I know there's so many of them, we had to narrow them down to 3. So why don't we begin with the map viewer? So the map viewer always continues to evolve and always continues to improve. So what new features of the map viewer you want to highlight today?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mark. Lots to choose from this update. So I've just out of the gate, we're looking at the new embed maps capability with Map Viewer. So a great new simplified way to share any of your maps. And the best part, you don't need to create any separate applications. So right there inside Map Viewer, in the dark contents pane on that left-hand side, you'll now see the option to embed a map. Right in between Share Map and Create App, this option gives you a couple of parameters to customize the look and feel, right? If maybe you want a light mode or a dark mode, and configure some map actions like turning a legend on or enabling bookmarks. And then it's going to auto-generate an HTML link, which you can then freely share with anyone else, or of course, embed inside any applications. So super quick way through a couple of clicks to get your map out there and shareable, and you're off to the races. Definitely one of my favorite parts with the updates so far. But on a functionality side of things, if you're getting into the weeds in data or in ArcGIS Map Viewer and you want to do some attribute work, lots of improved functionality to our tables. So super excited to see this. Right out of the gate, you now can calculate fields using SQL as well as Arcade. So Arcade's already been there. You can now use SQL expressions. You can apply filters to that data before running the expression if you only want to rub that on a subset. Your calculation values can also be previewed before time. So you want to check to see what that result is before you run it. And any of the scripts or things that you do end up creating can be downloaded and saved for any future use. But lots more. You can make changes to field visibility, field order, and data sorting right in the attribute table inside Map Viewer. And not only can you make any of those configuration changes, you can save them to that specific web map or just that hosted layer item as well. So you can actually make those configuration changes, and it's not just a visual representation as you're in that web map. It'll actually stick around. So really a nice little flexible way. I know that's a big one. So I'm really hoping to see people happy and excited about that. If attachments are a little more your attribute game, you like a lot of different attachments, ready for this? You can add, view, delete, change, download, and you can add them by dragging and dropping as well. I'm talking JPEGs, PDFs, any attachments you like. Lots of flexibility there now. But still arguably my favorite one, my favorite table update with this is going to be the new multi-tab view. So if you're an ArcGIS Pro user, perhaps you may recognize this one and be as excited about it as I am. You can now have multiple tables open in Map Viewer. So multiple attribute tables, multiple charts, maybe even multiple models. So lots more flexibility over the interface there inside Map Viewer. Those were 3 big standouts for me. How did that all sound?
Sounds great to me. And I think you kind of hinted at another big thing that's in the Map Viewer there when you talked about multiple models. What exactly are you talking about? What is that feature?
I did say models, and I meant it. I'm happy to announce that ModelBuilder beta has officially come to ArcGIS Online. So those ArcGIS Pro users who have been leveraging and using ModelBuilder for years, I'm sure you'll also be excited about this. So ModelBuilder is available from the Analysis tab inside Map Viewer. So where you go and find all those great tools already, ModelBuilder is now going to be an option in there. So a little bit different to the way that it's set up from the ArcGIS web editor, right? Which got its own standalone application in like the chiclets menu where you can see all of your ArcGIS Online apps. You won't notice ModelBuilder in there. It's baked right into the ArcGIS Map Viewer. And an important thing to note right now, because this is out and being released in beta, your ArcGIS Online organization will need to have beta capabilities enabled in order to leverage ModelBuilder. So if you don't have that turned on, I suggest you get into your admin settings and go ahead and configure that so you can test out ModelBuilder today. Looks like out of the gate, there's going to be over 20 different analysis tools that you can take advantage of, all nicely color coded as well. You can tell the difference between whether it's a tool, what's your data, what's an output. And in terms of inputs, you can, of course, put any of your own ArcGIS Online data into any of your models, any data that may be shared with you, shared across your organization, and you can even leverage data from the Living Atlas inside any tool inputs as well. And if we're going to talk about inputs, got to talk about what our outputs are. So nice part as well about ModelBuilder outputs is you have the option as to whether you want those layers to just generate a temporary intermediate layer. For example, you have a buffer in the middle of your ModelBuilder workflow. Do you want to keep that buffer as a hosted feature later? You certainly can. Or you can just have that be a temporary layer that gets discarded once your model's done running. If you don't need that buffer, just another way to help kind of reduce any clutter, cut down on any hosted layers that you may not want to be kept around, and of course, increase the performance of your model while we're at it. So lots of great things coming to ModelBuilder, even in this beta release. And of course, as well, that great history pane that was added quite a few updates ago, all of your model processes are going to be reflected and shared in there as well. So all those buffers, anything that your model produces, you're going to get a record of that in the history pane. So super excited to see that, and can't wait to see some use cases that come out of the new ModelBuilder.
Yeah, it's amazing that ModelBuilder, you could do all this stuff online. It really is another step in the evolution of ArcGIS Online, which is really incredible. So thanks for letting us know about that. Sort of tangential to ArcGIS Online is ArcGIS Experience Builder, and I know a lot of our users are transitioning from their web app builder applications to Experience Builder, and now we have a new tool to sort of help out with that. So talk a bit about Express Mode.
That's a perfect segue. That's exactly how I would have introduced it, Mark. It's a great transition for anyone that's looking or been working with ArcGIS Web App Builder, looking to start that transition or continue the transition, which a reminder is retiring in 2026. This is a great simplified workflow to bring to Experience Builder. You start by choosing a template, just like you did with Web App Builder. And it even includes a few of the Web App Builder templates. So familiar with the foldable, billboard, and launchpad, those have carried over into the new ArcGIS Experience Builder Express Mode. Once you've selected a template, it gives you a nice streamlined workflow as well to help complete your experience and add in those great Experience Builder widgets. Those are going to be accessed from the top toolbar as opposed to the left-hand side in the Express mode, but you can select between different themes, and you still do get the capability of previewing that application in either a desktop or a mobile mode. So still lots of good flexibility in this Express mode, but some important things to note for our users as well. So you'll know if you're in Express mode if the secondary colors in the application are purple, whereas we know in the full mode of Express Builder, that default color is going to be teal. So right away, a quick visual way to tell if you're in the full mode versus the Express mode. And there's an easy way to toggle back and forth between the modes in the top of the application as well. There's going to be a nice little toggle in the header. And of course, if you start in Express mode, building your app, and maybe you want to jump out into the full mode and take things a little bit further to the full capabilities of Express or Experience Builder, you can certainly do that. So you can take your Express mode and convert that over. But it will let you know that this is a one-way conversion. So you can't go back to editing in Express mode once you've merged over to the full version. But of course, it's going to let you know, it'll give you a nice little message. And as a bit of a safety net, there's nothing wrong. You can always make a copy of your Express mode app and then go ahead and convert over and see what the full version of ArcGIS Experience Builder is. But great to see this capability coming and helping to bridge the gap for those coming from our ArcGIS Web App Builder.
Absolutely. I think it's pretty clear to a lot of people who have never tried it before that Experience Builder is a little more complex than our other app builders. It can be a little intimidating. So I think this is a huge step forward for anybody, like you said, transitioning, especially from Web App Builder, to get themselves started up in this new system. And it's a really exciting ad for ArcGIS Online.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Brandon. It's always great to hear from you, and I can't wait to see what you bring us in the new year.
Oh, well, thanks again, Maggie and Mark. Great to be back, and can't wait to speak with you again soon.
That was Brandon Wheatley. Brandon Wheatley. He is a technical solutions specialist in our marketing team here at Esri Canada, and he is calling us from his Santa's workshop in Midtown Toronto.